Meanwhile, a live look here at the courthouse in Miami, Florida, setting up right now. Former President Donald Trump set to appear there in federal court tomorrow, facing 37 federal charges related to storing of those classified documents at his Mar-a-Lago residence. We'll show you this. This is some of what the former president had to say. He even campaigned this weekend, and here's a piece of that.
They've launched one hoax and witch hunt after another to try and stop our movement and thwart the will of the American people. Every time you have, not even believable. Witch hunt, scam, hoax. It's called election interference, and they're doing the best they can with it.
Alan Dershowitz is a professor emeritus at Harvard Law, author of the book Get Trump. He joins us live. There's his book there. Professor, good to see you here. We want to bring this up. If we could pull up the full screen here for our viewers. I know that you've had the weekend to digest the indictment, the 37 charges within the 44-page indictment here. And they're laid out for you. Obviously, the bulk of it is related to the Espionage Act. Tell me your thoughts. Are they different when the indictment was sealed, when you were making comments then, versus now being able to see the actual indictment, the charges, and really how the special counsel has broken down what they believe will play out in court? Has your mind changed on this? Just how serious are these charges now?
Well, I always have an open mind, and I always learn from reading new information. Look, I think the main thing, you showed a picture of the courthouse, the outside of the courthouse. This trial should be televised. The American public should see that the candidate who's running against the incumbent, they should see the trial to see if it's fair. Congress should immediately pass legislation now requiring the opening of federal courthouses to television, particularly when you have something involving the national interest like this. We shouldn't have to get it through the filter of CNN and MSNBC and the New York Times. We should be able, each of us, to see the trial live, just like we finally got to see the indictment. It was sealed for a while. We got to see the indictment. It turned out to be stronger than many people thought it was, particularly the one charge under the Espionage Act, which is a misnomer. This has nothing to do with espionage. It has to do only with possession of material. They charged him with willful possession. But he's waiving a piece of paper, which may be classified or not, we don't know, in which he says, I could have declassified this, I didn't. Look at this, it's secret. That is, if not a smoking gun, at least a gun with his fingerprints on it. And that's going to be the hardest one of the charges to overcome. None of us were aware of that charge at the time that we initially spoke about the indictment. But look, the source of the indictment is still very questionable. This was part of a targeted attempt to get Trump, hence the name of my book, Get Trump. You know, it started in New York with the district attorney coming up with a totally phony indictment, the worst indictment I've seen in 60 years of practicing law. And then, obviously, there are cases all over the country, cases in Fulton County, cases in D.C., cases in Florida. When you target somebody, it's very likely you're going to find something. It was Justice Jackson a long time ago who said any prosecutor can rummage through the books, and if you're determined to find something, you'll find something against somebody. That's the real hard question here is, was the targeting proper? Yes, they found something, but was the targeting appropriate?
But some of these charges do carry jail time. If any of these charges stick, what would, in your mind, what would the defense for former President Donald Trump look like within this case playing out? And again, keeping in mind that this is happening in Florida, that at least for now, Judge Aileen Cannon, a Trump-appointed judge, is overseeing this. Your thoughts on that?
Well, first, I think she seems like a good judge. She made the right decision, and the Court of Appeals was wrong. She made the right decision about appointing a special master to evaluate lawyer-client privilege material, and the left is bashing her for that, but they're wrong about that. We don't know how this case will finally work itself out. There are various defenses to various aspects. I mean, there are 3 or 4 different kinds of charges: possession of material, obstruction of justice, and each one will be handled in a different way. One of the problems is that Trump's having problems putting together a really good legal team because this organization called Project 65, a McCarthyite hard left organization, has threatened to file bar charges against any lawyer who dares to defend Trump. And I actually wrote a column when they did that saying, I will defend any lawyer pro bono who is accused of misconduct for defending Trump. And then what do you think they did? They filed a bar charge against me. So, I mean, this is a concerted effort to try to stop lawyers from defending Trump. It's pure McCarthyism.
Well, he's got his scheduled date is tomorrow. We have reporters there. He now is in New Jersey, a reporter there as well. We'll continue to follow this out. A major story here that we appreciate the thoughts, opinions, analysis here by Alan Dershowitz. Professor Dershowitz, good to see you. Thank you for that.